Good day everyone, my name is Rebahinting Flores and this is my channel. Last meeting, we discussed about degrees and regions, specifically how to evaluate degree form into a region form and a region form into a degree form. For today's video, let me start it with a quote, "A negative mind will never give you a positive life" by Thomas Eliot. For me, the quote means or focus more on the power of the mind itself that influence our actions, and that actions of course reflects our futures. If we have a positive mind, then we have a positive future. If we have a negative mind, then we have a negative future. So for today's video, the content is all about the trigonometric functions of a right triangle. The objectives are we are able, or the learners are now able to evaluate or find the 6 trigonometric functions in a right triangle. So first is let us be familiar with the 6 trigonometric functions. So these are the first 3. The Sohcahtoa, the sin is equivalent for O, or the opposite, over hypotenuse, and the ka, which is cosine, which is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. The toa, which is for tangent, and that would be equal to opposite over adjacent, and the CEO, which is equal to cotangent, and that would be equal to adjacent over opposite, and then the cha, or the secant, which is equivalent for hypotenuse over adjacent, and the chu, which is the cosecant, and that would be equal to hypotenuse over opposite. So but first, what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the longest side in a right triangle, or that face the right angle in a given right triangle. So next is find the 6 trigonometric functions of the angle A in this given illustration here. Let's take angle A, which is our basis, and B and C, and has the sides A, B, and C. So the value of our sin A is equal to A over C, since it is opposite over hypotenuse. And the cosine A is equal to B over C, since we have the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Tangent A is equal to A over B, since we have opposite over adjacent, and the cotangent A is equal to B over A, since we have adjacent over the opposite. And second is we have C over B, since we have the hypotenuse over the adjacent, and the cosecant is hypotenuse, or C over A, since we have the hypotenuse over the opposite. So in this given illustration here, next is find the angle of the 6 trigonometric functions of the angle A in this given illustration. Angle A, B, and C, and side A is 6, and side B is 3, then the hypotenuse is unknown. So first, in order for us to evaluate or find the 6 trigonometric functions, let us determine what is the value of our C. With this given formula, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Just substitute the value of our A, which is 6, and the value of our B, which is 3. So C squared is equal to 6 squared plus 3 squared. C squared is equal to 36 plus 9. Then C squared is equal to 45. In order for us to find the exact value of C, so we need to cancel or to eliminate the squared here in C. So we need to square both sides to cancel out the squared and the square root. So we have the C is equal to square root of 45. Square root of 45 is equal to 3 square root of 3. So the value of our C, or the value of our hypotenuse, the longest side, is 3 square root of 3. So now we are now able to find the 6 trigonometric functions of the angle A. So sin sin is opposite over hypotenuse. We have the opposite side of our angle A, the 3, and the hypotenuse, which is the 3 square root of 3, and that would be equal to 1 square root of over square root of 3, or 3. The cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we have 6, the adjacent side of our angle A, and over the hypotenuse, again, this 3 square root of 3, and that would be equal to 2 square root of 3. For our tangent, we have 3, the opposite, divided by or over 6, the adjacent side, so we have 1/2. The cotangent is 6 over 3, since adjacent over over opposite, so we have 2. Second is hypotenuse. We have 3 square root of 3 over adjacent, which is 6, and that would be equal to square root of 3 over 2. And the cosecant is hypotenuse again, 3 square root of 3 over opposite side, which is 3, and that would be equal to square root of 3. So for now, let's proceed. The coordinates x and y are two functions of the variable a in a unit circle. So recall the 30 degrees, or the points of a 30 degrees, is we have cos 30 degrees is equal to square root of 3 over 2, and the sin 30 degrees is equal to 1/2. Since cos is our x and sin is our y. Next is, again, this is the 6 coordinates of finding the 6 trigonometric functions using these coordinates. So sin stands for our y, cos stands for our x. The formula to get our tan is y over x, but x must not be equal to 0. The cosecant is 1 over sin, or 1 over y, but y must not be equal to 0. Then secant is 1 over x, but x must not be equal to 0. And cotangent is equal to x over y, and y must not be equal to 0. So those coordinates will help us to determine or find the 6 trigonometric functions of a triangle. So how about, or of an angle rather, in using those coordinates, let us determine the 6 trigonometric functions of a is equal to pi over 3. So this is pi over 3 is a region form. So in order for us to determine or to know what the equivalent of this given region form is here to the angle form, we need to multiply this region form to the formula, which is 180 degrees over pi. Cancel out the pi symbol in each the given and the formulas. We have the remaining number of 180 degrees over 3. 180 degrees divided by 3, so we have 60 degrees. 60 degrees are our objectives to find, or the goal here we need to find the 6 trigonometric functions of the angle, which is equal to 60 degrees. 60 degrees in a unit circle is around here. As we all know that if the angle, or if the degree is less than 90 degrees, the reference angle must be equal to itself. So but before that, the terminal side is here in a quadrant 1, and again, reference angle of the 60 degrees is 60 degrees. So since 60 degrees is equivalent for square root of 3 over 2, which is our y, and cos 60 degrees is equal to 1/2. So in finding tan, the formula is y over x. So we have square root of 3 over 2 since it is the value of our y, then over 1/2 since it is the value of our x. Next is simplify. So we have this square root of 3 as the value of our tangent, tan 60 degrees. Here in the cosecant 60 degrees, the formula is 1 over y. 1 over the value of our y, which is square root of 3 over 2. Simplify, so we have 2 square root of over square root of 3 as the value of our cosecant. The second is the value of our the formula in finding our second is 1 over x. 1 over the value of our x is 1/2 since it is x, the value of x. Then simplify, so we have 2 as the value of our second 60. In finding the cotangent 60, the formula is x over y, and the value of our x is 1/2 over the value of our y, which is square root of 3 over 2. Simplify, so we have 1 over square root of 3 as the value of our cotangent 60 degrees. And that would be the end of this video. I hope you like it. Just leave a comment if you found errors, and just please subscribe and click the notification bell for you to be updated in the next videos.